Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by a fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Macedo is the best.
All right, today I'm going to give my thoughts on a topic which some of you had requested. One is office politics and being a businessman, having a businessman mindset. Now, even though these two are different, office politics and having a business mindset, there are certain areas which are kind of overlapping. Okay, if required, I'll make another video on this later on, but for separate, if I didn't cover the points or I forgot to cover, but I'll give you my thoughts. Okay, now see, office politics. What is office politics? In my definition, I'm not talking of any Wikipedia or anything. Office politics is where it's like a game of chess. Okay, you're playing the right moves, you're connecting with the right people, saying the right things at the right time to achieve a premeditated agenda. And obviously the agenda is to move ahead in the career path. But then where it becomes dirty is you cannot move ahead unless you create a vacancy. Let's say there is a manager, below are two supervisors, and below that are the executives. Now, if you want to climb to the supervisory level but there's no vacancy, you need to make sure that either a new position is created or one guy is thrown out. And if in case you don't aim for the guy to get thrown out, you need to play it in such a way that you are considered for that position. Now, yes, you can always have questions. Is it based only on merit or not on merit? But most of the time where office politics is concerned, it's not based on merit or primarily on merit. Merit is considered, but that's not a primary focus. The focus is favoritism, the focus is preference. Okay, I'll give you an example. In my Citibank days, there was this lady, I'm not sure, I can't get her name, Madhuri or something, I'm not sure her name was, whatever. Let's assume her name was Madhuri. Okay, this lady was a team leader. Now, under a team leader, we have many sales people. Now, this lady, Madhuri, was a very tough, a really tough woman. She would make everyone's life miserable. She would give very hard targets. You didn't achieve a target, she'd want you terminated. She didn't give a fuck. But among her team, there was one guy, let's give this guy's name Ali. There was one guy who she liked very much. And every month, there are leads coming into the bank. Leads means these people want a loan or a card. By default, only this guy would get all the leads, all. Not some, not few, all. And every month, he was the highest achiever. Every month, he would get the bonus. Every month. I mean, it was not that they were having an affair. It was more like mother age. And I know you'll say, Aloy, how do you know? It's obvious. He was a very young, dynamic guy. But she liked him a lot. And if there was any trouble or any problem in the team, no matter what, she was on his side. And he used to act big and mighty and over smart. But he was achieving, just to give you an idea, a normal person would earn 3,000, let's say dirhams, or $1,000. This guy would earn $4,000 because of the commissions. And lo and behold, when she got the next position, guess who got the promotion to take her position? So this is how office politics works. Now, why am I trying to say that it's the same as being a businessman? The reason I'm saying it's same as a businessman is because there's a lot of manipulation involved. There's a lot of observation involved. There's a lot of obsession involved, you know. You have to be obsessed 24/7. You have to think only of this. You know, it's like a game of chess. You can't take your eyes off the ball. You can't relax. And the worst part is your values are extremely selfish. You have to be ready to lie, to cheat, to do anything. You have to even team up with the people you hate. It's like politics. You know, politics, why they say office politics. Same thing in politics. Yeah. Like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. They bloody hated each other. They were throwing so much of dirt and mud on each other when they wanted to be the candidate to represent the Democratic team. But once he had to choose a vice president, he chose Kamala because he wanted to get the minorities vote also. And then they were praising each other, glowing. You know, each one was glowing with praise from the other. He's our leader, he's our this, oh, she's amazing. So sickening to the stomach, man. It's like, you know, faking an orgasm every day. So, see, where office politics is concerned, you're either in it or you're not in it. Now, what do I mean by that? It's not that you have an option to stay out of it. Yeah, you can stay out by not involving yourself there. But if that is the case, then you have to be an ace. You have to really, you have to be at the top of your game. I mean, you have to be the number one achiever where revenue is concerned. Then nobody can touch you. Because if they try to throw you out, the management will say, excuse me, I know you don't like them, but he's the highest revenue generator. You want him. So it's numbers that come. Now, one thing, let me tell you, that will surprise you. Everyone in the office, everybody, it is obvious who likes each other, who hates each other, even if you don't say it. You know, many times people come to me and say, I don't like this guy, but you know, I try to play it down. You can be rest assured they know you don't like them. They're not dumb. They know you don't like them, and they know you are aware that they don't like you. We think that people don't know. People know. And not only people, everybody knows. Everybody knows what is going on. But people take a position of either being actively involved or joining a team or just being a spectator. So you can be rest assured everyone knows. It's just whether they choose to be involved or not. And then I think the game of when your day or your number comes or people are trying to honor you, who puts a surprising card? Like this person was neutral, all of a sudden he joins your enemy team, and you know, they join hands together to ensure that you are thrown out or complain about you. So those are the surprising moves that people play. Now, personally me, I've really been bad with office politics. I've been very bad. I'm one of the worst because I don't like people who are, when I joined a company, people who are equal to my position, I never liked them. So I would always choose to be close to the CEO, the most powerful person in the organization. That in turn assured nobody could touch me. That was always my strategy, and that is the only strategy I knew. Because instead of focusing on 20 guys at your level, I used to focus on one guy at the highest level. And as to make him my friend, and obviously he's not my friend, but as to make him like me so nobody could touch me. And it worked wonders for me, as long as it worked. Now, what is the solution for you? Here's a fact. You can't get away from office politics. You can't get away. If you don't like it in one organization and you decide, okay, I'll leave this organization, go to another one, again, there will be another, office politics. You go to the third one, there will be another one. It is always there in every organization. So now the solution is, what do? It's a skill, or it's a unnecessary evil you can't avoid. Don't try to run away from it. At least, I'm not saying get into it and do it. At least be aware of it. Study it. Observe human beings. Observe what is going on. Don't be a dumb idiot. Don't go like, just do something. Left, right, center, know what is going on. And then have the willpower and self-control and discipline to make sure you perform well at your job while marketing and selling yourself to the industry. So if things don't work out here, and one fine day they give you the pink slip, there's an option available somewhere. And keep in mind, the most powerful person in office politics is the person who has enough and more money or options to fall back on. Then they don't give a fuck. And the second one is, if you're a star performer. If you're a star performer, nobody can touch you. But now if you are not a star performer, plus you don't have money, plus you don't know what to fall back on, plus you're stupid and dumb, then God help you. Being an atheist, I'm telling you, God help you. Because if you're dumb, really dumb and stupid, I mean, who can help you, man? End of the day, let me tell you, whether you're an employee with office politics or a businessman, it will always exist. Tomorrow you run your own business, you're the boss. People below you will try to bitch about you, talk about you, speak shit about you, try to plan things against you. See, I'm a member of so many groups. People, they might talk nice with me and all that, but I know when given an opportunity, maybe someone from within the group itself will backstab me. I've seen that many times. That's why I don't get involved with them. Don't get involved with anyone. You talk shit, you want to talk good, whatever. I have a select few who nobody knows. I'm close to them. I don't inform anyone. I do my thing, mind my own business. That's about it. So anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you with regards to office politics. Let me know your thoughts. And if you'd like a subsequent video with regards to office politics or, having a business mindset, let me know in the comments below. I'll definitely consider posting a video. Okay? You guys take care. This is me signing off. Alright? Chal man.